looked into your pet's eyes and thought, do they actually love me back? You might be surprised to know that science says, yes, they do. And not just in a cute or emotional way, in a biological, neurological, chemical way. Their brains change when they're close to us. Today, we're going to explore what really happens inside an animal's mind when it shares companionship with a human. Don't worry, we'll keep it light and simple. Think of it as a walk through your pet's brain park, where every wag, purr, or nuzzle is a neuron lighting up. Imagine your dog patting over you after a long day. They sit, tail switching, eyes soft. At that moment, inside their brain, something beautiful happens. Neurons, those tiny messengers that carry information, start firing in parts of the brain linked to emotion, reward, and safety. In dogs, one of the key players here is the caudate nucleus, a structure that responds to things that feel good. Gregory Burns, the neuroscientist who wrote How Dogs Love Us, scanned the brains of awake dogs and found that when dogs saw their owner, their reward center lit up, just like ours do when we see someone we love. It wasn't food that caused the strongest reaction. It was their person. That means, neurologically speaking, love, or at least a deep, trusting bond, is not just a human thing, it's cross species. Now, let's talk about chemistry. Every bond, whether between two people or between a person and their pet, runs on a cocktail of brain chemicals. That superstar here is oxytocin. When you pet your dog, cat, or even a rabbit, your oxytocin levels rise, and so do theirs. One study showed that when dogs and their owners gaze into each other's eyes for several minutes, both species experience a boost in oxytocin. It's like a biological love loop. The more you look, the more oxytocin you both release, and the stronger the bond becomes, as same as with the touch. For animals, oxytocin helps them feel safe, calm, and attached. It quiets fear responses and lowers stress hormones like cholesterol. So when your pet cuddles next to you, their body is saying, I trust you, you make my world feel safe. But oxytocin isn't working alone. Dopamine adds a feeling of pleasure, that sense of this feels good, let's do it again. Every time you toss a ball, every time you scratch behind their ears, dopamine helps create a feedback loop that strengthens your connection. For your pet, being with you becomes as rewarding as food or play. It's the brain's way of saying, this bond matters, keep it up. At the same time, cortisol goes down, heart rate slows, breathing deepens, the animal shifts from alertness to relaxation. That blissful sight when a cat is sleeping on your lap or a dog flops onto its side for belly rubs. Companionship tells the animal's nervous system, you can rest now, you're home. Think of your pet's brain like a garden. When companionship is gentle and consistent, you're watering the flowers of trust, calm, and joy. The pathways between reward, emotion, and safety grow stronger. If that connection is missing, if the garden goes dry, weeds of stress and fear can start to take over. That's why neglected animals often show heightened stress responses. Their brain chemistry gets out of balance. But here's the good news. The brain is remarkably adaptable. With time, care, and consistent positive companionship, even anxious or rescued animals can regrow those neural flowers of safety and trust. You might have seen the famous video of Jane Goodall being hugged by a chimpanzee that she just rescued. So, what about these animals? What about animals beyond dogs and cats? Research shows that horses, rabbits, Even some birds can develop similar neurological patterns of trust and social reward when bonded with humans. We know now that chimpanzees can also develop these neurological patterns because it was a clear sign of trust and affection. In therapy settings, what's often called zootherapy or animal assisted therapy, animals aren't just tools for humans' healing, they're participants. When treated kindly, their brain also benefits. Oxytocin rises, stress decreases, and they respond with genuine emotional attachment. So, yes, therapy dogs or horses may help humans feel calmer, but the animals themselves feel calmer too. It's a partnership written in neurons, not words. Let's zoom in for a moment on the idea of safety. In the wild, many animals survive by staying alert, ready for danger. But when they live with a trusted human, their brains can finally relax. This safety allows for learning, play, curiosity, all essential parts of the healthy brain. That's one reason why dogs in stable, loving homes are often more playful, curious, and attentive than dogs in stressful environments. Their brains have learned that life is safe, and safety gives space for joy. When you scratch your pet's head, you might feel their weight lean into you. That small gesture is more than affection. It's communication between two nervous systems. Your hand releases warmth and oxytocin. Their skin and fur send signals to their brain. This is pleasant. Keep going. In that exchange, two bodies synchronize. Heart rates may even align. For a few moments, your brain and theirs are in conversation without a single word. But let's not romanticize everything. Animals aren't little humans in fur coats. Their brains are wired differently. Their understanding of love might not look like ours. But neurologically, companionship creates similar effects: trust, reward, calm, connection. These are universal biological languages shared across species. So, what's the takeaway? When you bond with your pet, you're not just a caretaker, you're a co regulator of each other's biology. Their brain feels your love, and your brain feels theirs. Every cuddle, every shared walk, every lazy Sunday afternoon is shaping their neural pathways, building a map of home inside their mind. Next time you see your dog wag or your cat blink slowly at you, remember that's not just cute. That's neuroscience in motion. It's a symphony of hormones and neurons singing the ancient tune of companionship, the one that says, you and I belong together. So tonight, when you sit down and your pet curls up beside you, take a deep breath. Feel that quiet rhythm, the shared breath, the mutual calm. That's not just comfort, that's biology. That's love written in the language of the brain.